Hi, this is Manik Seanayaka, your host. Welcome to another edition of The Sales Target. And today we are going to figure out how to respond. The customer says, I'll get back to you. Sounds familiar? I'm sure if you are in sales, you have been exposed to that particular statement. Imagine a situation where you are doing a sales presentation. Everything is going really well. You have nicely educated the customer with the product features, functionalities, benefits. The vibes are great, interesting and insightful question being asked by the customer, the body language very positive, only to be remarked at the end of the presentation, we'll get back to you. Don't you just want to reach out over the table and just grab it? You feel that the whole world has collapsed. A lot of questions comes at that time. Don't you hate that word? These kind of rejections comes in very nicely well packed. We'll get back to you. Can you give me a few days? Can you share some more information? So and so will get in touch with you. You know what? I need to run by a few others these details. Nevertheless, there are rejections. These are what are called polite rejections. Acharashili, sister sampanna, gauraniya pratikshepa. Nevertheless, rejection. You are just shooting in the dark. Now, the greatest danger is you don't have anything to work on. You don't know whether what they are saying is true. Basically, they are absolutely rejecting or they are just buying time. So here you need to establish his buyer's intentions, willingness to buy and his ability to pay. බාණ්ඩයේ නැත්නම් සේවාවේ උමනාව නැත්නම් අවශ්‍යතාවය ඒ වගේම ගෙවීමේ හැකියාව. ඒක සනාථ කරන්න ඕනේ. Sometimes there can be truth as well. They just want more time. But more often than not, basically customers buy for time. Especially that happens if you are not really connected with them during a presentation. So as a golden rule, never leave the presentation room without something to work on, even a rejection, because that's the only way you can have a follow-up conversation. The minute you walk out of the sales presentation, your priority level goes to the bottom of the pit, almost zero. And we humans, we tend to forget 75% that we are exposed to within 24 hours. And that goes up to almost 90% after 15 to 30 days. So any attempt to really reach them or access them will be entertained by three objections. One, they would say that he's not at his desk, he's away from his desk. Or some would they say that he's at a meeting, which is most common, and they say sometimes they are out of the country. Nevertheless, they are just crying out loud, please leave me alone. The global voicemail response rate is about 4.8%. So the chance that customer is going to come back to you is very remote. So what do we do? So as salespeople, what we have been taught, our sales instincts come out. We continue to call. Sales perseverance and sales resilience is only tolerated up to a certain point. That kind of self-pushiness is not tolerated anymore. It's good to really have that never give up attitude. At the same time, always select building rapport or relationship over building persistence. It's not about persistence, it's about creating a relationship or rapport that will get you to close a sale. So very important. After a while, what happens if you continue to call him, it becomes annoyance. Customer will further go away or move away from you. So how do you react? I know what most will do. They will say, Mr. Customer, can I call you back? Can I come back to you next week? What would be a good time to get in touch with you? Can I send some information or drop some prospectus? Never drop prospectus because it will straight off go to the bin or to the drawer, because it's purely based on logic, just 7% words. So how do we really respond? We respond in kind. අපට ලැබිච්ච ප්‍රතික්ෂේපයට සයරණ සාපේක්ෂ ප්‍රතිචාරයක්. How do you do it? You have to be very diplomatic, not to intimidate the customer. So you say, Mr. Customer, when most customers says that they will get back to me, they hardly do. It's simply because there are so many other work commitments. Say that work commitment, don't say priorities, because then this becomes less priority. So they don't really get back to you. Is there any concerns that you have right now that we can work towards so that we can achieve a mutual benefit, a win-win situation for both of us? So at that time, you bring what are called the 3 Fs. Product fit, product functionality or features, or funding of finance. So product fit is adalatya, product functionality of features is the kotak or lakshana, or product finance is the gewime hakyawa. So if, for example, you say, is it the fit? If it is a fit, can I come back to you with a much more appropriate version that you're looking at? Or is it the product functionality? Is there anything that in a feature that you want to really change? Can I work on that? Or it can be the price. Can I work on the price? Can I offer you a much more linear, a workable payment plan? So you zero in the customer. This way the blocks will come out. And when you ask these kind of questions, customer obviously going to come out and say, you know what, it is the features that I have problem with. Then you fix a time. Okay, Mr. Customer, let me come back to you next Thursday, a solution to the product feature that you have concerns with. This way you buying in the customer. So essentially, in a nutshell, in a sales presentation, the golden rule is never ever leave the sales presentation without having something to work on. That's the only way you can have a follow-up conversation that could eventually will lead to a sales closing. And good luck with the next sales presentation. This is Manik signing off with another Sales Insight moment and reminding you, it's time to stop selling, start closing.